right, well, welcome back to the Washed Athlete podcast. On this podcast, it's just a group of friends kind of talking about anything that really is interesting to us. We're all a bunch of washed-up high school athletes, except for one of us who's still doing some club stuff. And we have the whole cast here today, including very special guest, Will. You want to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? I'm Will. I'm a friend of Jacob from high school. Yeah, I guess I technically qualify in the washed athlete category. But yeah, I'm excited to be on here, you know? So, yeah.
So what type of washed athlete are you? Like, what sports did you end up playing?
So, yeah, I ran cross country and track in high school. So yeah, I was a big runner boy, you know.
You're the second guest in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we only had two guests. You're the second guest in a row.
Yeah.
That is run track. So
yeah, I mean, it's just the best sports. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Can't argue with that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do still technically play sports in college. Like I don't run cross country or track, but I do play competitive D3 ultimate Frisbee. So, you know.
Oh, that's the
that
best.
totally counts. That totally counts.
Totally
You're not a
counts.
You're an actual athlete.
Awesome.
That's
Washed athlete.
You have to leave. You have to
athlete.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to leave.
Yeah. We'll have to rebrand after this. Jeez.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I know. I'm just coming in here flexing on y'all. What can I say? But,
Partial athlete
yeah.
podcast.
But yeah. So yeah, that's the deal there. I don't know.
Nice.
What's like ultimate frisbee like? 'Cause I feel like ultimate frisbee is like when you go to college, it's like a big thing. Like everyone has it. It's like a talk of the town. My high school, no ultimate frisbee. There's no like side leagues or anything. I didn't even hear about ultimate frisbee until I started like hearing about college. So what's that been like?
Yeah, so for me, like when I was at Newman, so the high school Jacob and I went to, there was pretty much like no ultimate anything. Like there was like a club that met like once in the whole school year, you know, and they didn't really care. And then when I was at Ben Franklin, which was the other one of the high schools I went to, they actually had like a real like ultimate frisbee team that played against like other schools. There was only like one or two other schools. So again, there were 3 schools in the city that actually played ultimate frisbee, but it wasn't anything like super serious. We had practice like 3 times a week or so, but nothing like tremendous. And then now getting to college, it was like I thought I was like pretty okay at frisbee. You know, I can make most of the throws, you know, whatever. And then like I got on the field and I'm like, wow, these guys are just like way better than I am at this. 100%.
Yeah.
Like they torch me. And so it's like, I don't know, it doesn't have the same level of commitment as like, you know, like a full time, like playing football or whatever, but we practice, you know, like 3 times a week. You know, we went to natties both during the fall and spring semesters. So, you know, it's a
Big
flex
guy.
thing, you know,
Okay.
That's legit.
That's a, you know, yeah, that's flex, but I did win like the Spirit Award for my team, and we also won the Spirit Award
the
overall.
best
So
one.
I am the most spirited individual in competitive D3 Ultimate Frisbee. So
That is
what
the
can I say?
best
No, what
award.
can I
Are you
say?
kidding me?
But yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, it's all about like with, I don't know, like a lot of sports, it's kind of like you get out what you put in, you know, like if you put in the effort to go to practice, you know, you will get better. You'll get better at running routes, playing defense, you know, and I mean, it's just like you learn a lot more about like how there's like actual strategy to the game and stuff, like actual like formations and like, you know, different positions and stuff that just like, I was like, oh, okay. You know, with ultimate frisbee, it's just like, okay, you go out there and just throw the frisbee, whatever, this down a field, you know. But there's a bit more to it than that I'm, you know, still learning and developing, I guess, right now. But yeah.
So are you throwing the frisbee like with that weird arm twist thing, like where you throw it like that way? Like I always throw frisbees this way, but I see all the good people they like slice.
Oh yeah, no, I can throw backhand and forehand pretty well. I can do pretty easily inside out backhand, so it's like where it curves out, it curves in and out, and inside out is in and out, and then I can do it outside in, so it just curves out and around. I can also throw forehands, which is the weird one like this, you know, pretty. I used to be way better at throwing outside in forehands, which look really cool because it's like the big curve that gets like all the way around everybody and like right to the perfect person. But now I'm like a little worse at them because my flat ones are better, but it's just because I had to like fix my form because it was kind of wonky. But yeah, you know, so I can do that sort of throw, but I kind of suck at like hammers overhead stuff. But that's.
I was just about to ask about
Like,
that one because that's always the craziest looking thing is when someone just tomahawks that thing and it like flips 4 times and it's just like completely flat. It's so funny.
Those are also just like the hardest things to catch because it's like you're used to the disc obviously being like a certain way, and then when you get to it, you're just like they're coming in faster usually, and so you have to like plan for it more. It's a lot, you can't really catch it in one hand. You have to get like 2 hands around it, sort of thing. But, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm still working on those. That's easily my worst throw, but yeah.
Jeez. That's amazing.
That's sick.
Those kind of throws are like what you do in your yard, and you're like, all right, like I'm sure, like I've seen people do it so easy on TV, like I'm totally gonna pull this off, no biggie. And then you're like throwing it on top of the roof, it's stuck in the gutters, like you broke a window. I kind of feel that way about like NBA 3-pointers. You're like not that far, and then you like go onto an actual court and start chucking up 3-pointers, and you're like heaving the ball from your hips just to get it up to the net, and you're like, wait. How does like Dame Lillard like walk into like the half?
Yeah, you see Steph hit one too many step backs, and then you're just like, oh, it looks easy. And then you get out there, you're like, I need to like overhand throw this thing to hit the back. Like this is crazy.
Just brick 20 in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get there one day.
Yeah.
That's like your whole shooting form, like especially for me, like when you're younger, your whole shooting form changes when you go out to like the 3-point line for the NBA, and I'm like. These guys are walking into these shots like it's nothing. I'm like literally like putting everything I have in to get the shot up.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts. Well, that's Ultimate Frisbee is really cool. I did not expect to hear that. Those guys are in shape. I didn't realize like up at the Shenley Oval where we are, Ultimate Frisbee practices a lot, and those guys are sprinting up and down. They're super fit. I can see a lot of Ultimate Frisbee guys in the gym a lot.
Yeah.
Same thing with rugby guys.
No, I mean, like I did not like. I remember, like, it's funny to me because I'm not really doing a lot of like other working out outside of like going to Ultimate Frisbee practice and stuff. And so like in high school and everything, I ran full cross country practices. Practices would run so many miles a week or whatever, and I was fine endurance wise. But like now, because I'm like a good bit more out of shape and everything, like other life choices have kind of swayed me in that direction. I'm just like I just get gassed at like all of our workouts. I'm just like out there on the field, like we'll play like a long point that'll last like like a couple back and forths, a couple of turns. I'm just like out there, like like fully bent over, like
sucking wind.
Everyone else in the field is just kind of like, hey, you want to like take it easier in this route? Yeah, that's fine. You're talking to your defender, like it's okay. We could all just rest a little bit here, like we're all kind of tired.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We get that in soccer a lot. Sometimes I think Anders, you can probably relate to this. We'll go short field in soccer sometimes, and you're like, oh cool, they're shortening the field, you're gonna be way less tired. But sometimes the games are so much faster that you'll make like a run up to try to like get a goal, and then the way the ball, like you play the ball back in, and someone just needs to put the ball down on the end line and just kick it in. So then you're hauling ass back, and it's like this, like you're like completely gassed. The next time everyone goes up on offense, you're like staying back just to like get your breath. And especially after Will, what you were saying, like I did a lot of like track work, and then I'd go into soccer season, and it's just not the same type of like systems you're using. Soccer's a lot more sprint and rest, and track's a lot more, especially if you're like a mile runner, a lot more holding the same speed for a while. So like I went back into soccer season, and like 1 or 2 back and forths, I was like, God, I'm exhausted. It was awful.
It's totally different. Like short bursts of sprints versus like constantly running for a long distance. It's completely different.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like you. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say one will help you with the other, obviously, but it definitely takes that adjustment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like in football, you would like be doing like very short intervals, like for plays and stuff. And like, but when I would go to track, like I'd be in shape because I just had football and like I had all the conditioning and stuff like that. But it's going to be a lot different to be running like 100 meters, 200 meters, or 400 meters because you're just not going to be like, you're not going to typically have to run that far of a distance, like, on a single play in football.
Well,
odds are if you're running that far.
I mean, the exact thing,
especially on defense, something bad happens.
Yeah, exactly. The difference there is right. Like, besides like an indoor 60 meter, the shortest distance you typically run in a track season is the 100 meter. That's the length of a football field, and you never run the length of a football field unless you get a crazy like 100-yard like touchdown return.
Yeah.
And those guys are literally like oxygen tanked after that. So like
gassed, like can't even.
So you just simply like 100 meters is a long time to run for like a football athlete. It's just not necessary. So I think the common thing is people are like, oh, I went to track to train for this. And it's like, it definitely helped you, but like, they're not completely like translated.
No, exactly. I mean, it's like you see it like obviously in like the runners at the highest level versus like football players at the highest level. They're just like built very differently from one another, you know, like especially when you come down to like distance runners and stuff like that. Like, anyone run the 800 meters, like they're like, I don't know, like 5'11" with super long legs, like weighing like 140, you know, they're just like the skinniest dudes, you know, just, but they have like intense endurance, just going you know, the full distance or whatever, you know. Or you look at like Usain Bolt versus, you know, someone like Tyreek Hill or like Adrian Peterson even, you know. It's just like they have very different builds and very different body shapes that are just more tailored for their individual sports, you know?
Because we saw that actually when DK Metcalf tried to like qualify for the Olympics, where it was like he was in like some Olympic qualifier, and it was like everybody there, it was like a bunch of like different guys, whatever. They were probably like around like 5'10" to like 6 feet tall. They were all like pretty skinny, whatever. And then there's just 6'4", 235, chiseled like a Greek god, DK Metcalf. And there's just like the next person's down to like 5'10" again, like 190. It's like just such a big difference between all of them. It's crazy seeing that. But then he got smoked in that final. Yeah. Like, it was crazy how much faster they were because they're just built for that. It's like their bodies are a lot lighter. They don't need to take hits. So it's like they don't need to be bigger. It's like I just need to look at the finish line and go fast. Like that's what I need to do.
Well, and I'm a big, like, I follow professional track and field. So I like, it was the USTAF Golden Games, which is a pretty notable meet. And DK Metcalf ran really well. Like he ran a lot better than a lot of like track fans thought he'd run. But no, like all track fans knew he didn't stand a chance. The winner of that meet ran a 9.83. That wasn't win legal, but 9.83 is a lot faster than a 10.37. 10.37 puts you about like, you're not a professional. You're like maybe a pro-am runner, and you don't have a lot of, and DK could have done better if he like had been training for it, but like it is just different types of training, and I like everyone knew that going in. But I give him a lot of credit for running it. He ran this one last year, so this one isn't currently on. I can't find his result, but yeah, he ran a 10.37. I think it was a good effort, but like I don't know. People always like to do that, like, oh, if this guy did this in this sport, like how would he do in this sport? And it's just like, I'm sure he'd be like, it's a constant like, oh, what if LeBron played tight end? Like, yeah, and it's like I'm sure he'd be great at tight end, but like it's not like it's going to be a seamless transition over.
Yeah.
Currently, Devin Allen, who just got signed by the Eagles, he's a 110-meter hurdler. He has the third fastest time in history in the 110-meter hurdles. He got disqualified by a really bad rule in the World Championships that recently happened, but he's going to go to the Eagles. He played wide receiver at Oregon and was okay, but he was a lot better on the track. So it's like now everyone's excited on the Eagles to see like that speed come to fruition on the football field. And it's like, you got to be patient because he hurdled for 100 meters. He's not going to be expected to run 100 meters on the track. Like maybe he'll go for some deep routes sometimes, but like it's not. He didn't run the 10-meter hurdles, which would be way more applicable to like.
Yeah.
And Devin Allen's also known as a finisher in the hurdles. He finishes faster than he starts, so it's like I'm like
that's the exact opposite of what you need in football.
Yeah.
You need the burst first to get the separation, and then it's like from there. Oh my god!
So I'm sure they'll have him running a lot of deep cross routes, but Jalen Hurts also can't really throw the ball.
Far down the depth chart, though. With
for sure, he's practice squad right now.
Like you look at guys like like Dree Archer, like Darius Hayward Bay or whatever. Like they can run 4.3, like 4.25 40s, but it's just like their speed doesn't translate because they're not that good at the rest of the game of football at the NFL level.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. It's just like that's all that really matters. Is whether or not you can run the routes you need to run, or just be like a good kicker punt returner. It's just like a whole different game. Like you think about like I don't know, like Alvin Kamara or like Cordero Patterson or something like that. Like they aren't necessarily the fastest guys out there, but they run like very well and very like efficiently. I don't know with the way they play the game.
Yeah. Because they have great field vision. It's like it's not just about like, oh, how fast you can run. It's like they can see the field. They can know when to accelerate, when to decelerate, when to move. It's like that stuff is like, you can't teach that. Like that's just an inherent sense that they just have.
No, Will, and you brought it up. So Christian Coleman, who was the world champion in the 100 meters in 2019, I believe, or 2018, he ran a 40. He went to school at Tennessee. He ran a 40 like on the indoor turf just to see what he'd do. And he ran a 4.12, which would have been a tenth of a second faster than the fastest NFL combine 100 ever run by John Ross because he ran 4.22. And it is absolutely nuts because you're like, a tenth of a second when you're talking about 40 yards is so much room. Like when people win by when people win by a tenth of a second in 100 meters, they're like pointing back at people and like blocking the field because it's such a big gap. Even like in the recent 100-meter finals, like a guy won by like Fred Curley won by .04 or .05, and he still had his arms up crossing the line because like when you're running that fast, that margin of gap is like quite large. And the fact that when you're a track athlete, you can run that the fastest time ever, and you can run it 0.1 faster, and you probably weren't even training for that. It's just the crossover between sports is
crazy,
absurd, but it is fun. Like the Kyler Murray just got like the bag for the Cardinals, and it was like he was drafted by the A's, which is just a wild like thought that he could have been playing baseball, and he's got like $270 million something locked up on the Cardinals for 5 years.
Let's remember the first. It was the Detroit Tigers. Because the Detroit Tigers drafted a Super Bowl winning quarterback before the Detroit Lions did. So the baseball team, because they drafted Patrick Mahomes in whatever the first round or something.
Oh my god!
To the that was a tough stat when I saw that one come out. I was like,
oh, that's hilarious.
Broncos country.
But now technically Detroit has technically
get drafted.
Yeah, Russ got, and Tom Brady got drafted.
Russ has played on the Yankees like practice squad before.
Yeah.
Like he does like mess around there every once in a while.
Not as good as Tim Tebow though, you know. Baller on the Mets.
Tim Tebow was Mets legend. Tim Tebow. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Just
hold on, sorry, 1 second, Raj. Russ batted .229 average in the minors.
That's actually really good.
Is that good?
No, it's not good. No, it's not good.
No idea how that is.
.3 is like a threshold for being good, I think.
.3 is like Hall of Fame worthy.
I don't know. Like, that's still
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, .229 is not.
I mean,
bad.
I think .229 is probably pretty bad.
I mean, relative to like an actual baseball player, that's pretty solid. Like he's not that.
But like for a minor league team as an NFL quarterback, like that's pretty good.
Oh well, no, I agree. I agree that it's good for how he like is doing in the NFL. I'm just saying total is not good. But Raj, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Disregarding any transition to different sports, what athlete would you like to see switch to a different sport? Just see what they can do. And
to see what they could do, or like also, are we factoring how the media would react to it? Because I would not want to see LeBron James play another sport because the media would piss me off.
Okay, we're not going to include ESPN, doing their thing with how it's going to affect LeBron's legacy, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to deal with that. Just disregarding all that, what athlete do you want to see transition to a different sport? And LeBron is not an allowed answer.
Okay, easy. I'm putting... Okay, that's very odd to specify that we can't use LeBron.
That's because someone's going to say it. It's been said before.
Fine.
Peter,
okay, so I am putting Derrick Henry on the U.S. Olympic rugby team. Okay, that dude would be horrifying to be on a rugby team. Him, or if we go like all time, I'm putting Adrian Peterson on that team.
Okay.
Adrian Peterson would kill someone on the rugby.
Marshawn Lynch is also a really good candidate for the rugby team.
Yeah.
It just be there. I would say it just kind of like Derrick Henry's got like the right height for it, whereas like, a guy like Adrian Peterson or Marshawn Lynch are just a little short to play rugby unless you're playing a specific position. But Derrick Henry especially would be absurd there. I don't know. Are we saying like this person like trained to play this sport instead of the sport that they're already in? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what we're saying. It's like just a pure athlete of like Derrick Henry would go into rugby instead of football.
I'd love to see a guy like, I don't know. I have obviously like Zion playing like tight end or whatever would be cool, but that's not what I'm gonna say. That's not what I'm gonna say. Not what I'm gonna say at all.
Tight end.
He'd be the new Jordan Davis.
Left tackle, but whatever.
I think he can get some receptions in if he slims down. He'd be a good blocking tight end.
Slimming down.
He's a blocking tight end.
But, I'd like to see a guy. I don't know, like a guy like like DeMarcus Cousins or Ben Wallace doing like MMA or something. That'd be sick. Like a giant.
That would be so fun.
Wild.
Like that'd be
dude. That'd be crazy.
I don't know, but
now that you
saying that made me think of.
No, that made me
Raj?
think of Myles Garrett in like UFC or
That would
something.
be sick.
Imagine having.
Oh my gosh.
So
Kill somebody.
along those lines, Raj, I saw the clip the other day. There was it's a very famous video of Ben Simmons putting Karl Anthony Towns in a headlock. And the NFL deemed that he was a peacemaker in the situation, so he didn't get suspended for the altercation.
Yeah.
He's actually really close to Cat, so like he did say afterwards he was trying to like not get Cat from like getting up and retaliating. But he did put him in the headlock, so I'm like, I would love to see Ben Simmons, like, I don't know, doing some, like, wrestling type, stuff,
God,
like,
fun.
putting people in headlocks.
It'd be hilarious.
That's not my answer, though. I still need to think about it.
Oh, sorry.
I got one. Give me OBJ on the wing on a soccer field.
Dude, he is disgusting. He is good at soccer as a football player. He is
Give
filthy.
me OBJ.
He would be so good. He'd
That's
be
pretty
so
good.
good.
I mean, I got another one too.
AI playing football.
AI. Ooh, how tall is AI?
AI?
He actually played
Well,
quarterback.
how tall is
He's
he?
not that tall though.
AI, Allen Iverson?
162.
Yeah.
Allen
Yeah.
Iverson's probably not 6 foot. They might list him as something higher,
He's like-
but
Yeah,
I don't think
around,
he
like,
is.
5'11", 6 foot.
Let's see.
You got Kyler Murray playing quarterback.
That's what I was about
Allen
to say.
Iverson's listed as 6 foot. I don't think he's that tall.
Well, just have him as a slot receiver. There you go.
But he was apparently really good.
But I
playing
mean, plenty of guys are good at
quarterback,
quarterback
so
in
I
high
don't
school.
You look like
compared
a-
to wide receiver in college or the NFL. You know, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julian
Exactly,
Edelman. That's what he did.
Yeah.
It's my choice.
Yeah.
Sneaky athletic. Hard worker.
Sneaky using steroids, you know?
I
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Lost it out
Forgot about that one.
would love to see Lamar Jackson train for the 200 meters in track and field. Because I think that dude could run a wicked
Really?
bend.
Well, if you're saying that, then we're putting Daniel Jones in there because he's
Yeah,
faster.
Daniel
than
Jones
Aaron.
would be he is faster apparently.
He could move.
But he's also stocker, so I don't think he could run the bend as well.
Oh yeah. That's also he can't just run in
He's
general.
too,
Like, he'll
he's
fall
too
over
fast for
himself.
his own
Yeah.
good. He's too fast
Yeah.
for his own
Yeah.
good.
White
There's like
Lightning
the
just
cap
can't-
of
he can't keep up. Yeah.
There's the cap of human speed, and he
He
reaches it.
just-
So his,
Yeah, it's like his head is going ahead of his
exactly.
feet because he's trying to go even faster, and he just
He's not making it past the bend. The 200.
it's been suggested before, but and the pro athletes would never do it. But I would love if we could put like a month aside, like let's call it August, no sports go on, and you just have other athletes come in for like an Olympics that are people playing in the sport they don't know, and maybe it's not even, maybe it's just a track meet, right? Because there's so many events in track and field. But I just want to see like professional athletes just like be loose and just like compete in things that they're not good at. Like,
so we're
I wanna
doing
see,
like celebrity all-star games, but like
Track and field.
have them all be athletes in
I would-
sports that are not theirs.
yeah, or I'd just do a track meet, honestly, because like if LeBron James is like throwing the javelin, like people would watch, man. Like you get one of the guys on the wings deciding he wants to run. You see a bunch of heavy dudes running the 1,500 meters or something like that would be entertainment. You see,
That's
like
yeah.
you follow Derrick Henry doing like the decathlon, just like
Yeah.
doing all the multi events.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be Raj. That's actually a genius idea. Do the offensive lineman relay. Like you just have like each of the
I would love
teams
that.
starting
I would love
5.
that.
Like they have to just go out there so you can run it the fastest.
you just
It's
make
so
it you just make it a 500 meter
Exactly.
relay.
Oh, God.
And just do all 5, like which group has the fastest O-line group, and it would be like, and you'd see some people fumble the handoffs and drop it, and that would make it more entertaining.
So funny.
And honestly, like if they made that like a part of like the NFL like season, like people were
Do
mandated
that
by
instead of the
contract-
Pro Bowl. It's
Yeah.
so
Yes.
boring. Just do that.
Like the Pro Bowl's play.
people would tune in. I love watching the dodgeball competition since they added it into the Pro Bowl. When Jarvis Landry
That's
like
really
clutched up that one year, I was
Oh
like,
my
"Go,
God.
goddamn Jarvis!" I was like, "You go!"
Like,
like,
let's go. Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I just want to see Oklahoma's in like the Pro Bowl too.
Okay, that's literally how
I
people
don't
die.
care. It'd be fun to see
Raj.
Oklahoma's.
Those were banned a while ago. Just because our coaches made us do it doesn't mean you should be doing it. I know yours did too.
Did you guys see all the stupid hats that the players need to wear in training camp?
Oh,
all
yeah.
like the
The padded
There's,
hats.
like,
the
a-
padded
a-
helmets?
over the-
Yeah.
they looked so stupid.
Yeah. Look, it makes sense. They just look dumb.
They look so
It
dumb.
makes complete sense. Like I'm totally for them doing it, but it's just like he's wearing a marshmallow
I
on
don't
his
know.
head. Like that's tough.
Now,
Lane
That's
Johnson.
really tough.
Lane
Hear me
Johnson
out.
wrapped his in bubble wrap.
I saw that. That's hilarious.
hear me out. Why don't we put the protection and focus it more on the inside of the helmet?
Well, because they already have that on the inside of the helmet. They're just like, okay, how do we get more on the helmet in some way? So they're like, just wrap it in foam.
I mean, this is like a big whatever question, but it's like, does the NFL actually care about player safety though? It's like, no, like they just
absolutely
absolutely
no.
Really, no.
If they can show that they care, like, that's all they care about. It, whether or not it works, who cares?
No.
CTE doesn't exist. It's fake.
Even for those paddings, like I haven't heard of players going out with concussions in training camp before, and I know
I've never heard that.
I know CTE is way more than just like you're getting concussions. It's like small things, but I'm like, I've never been like, oh man, like Jalen Hurts got. I mean, he's a quarterback, bad example. Miles Sanders got a concussion in practice. I've never heard of that before.
Or even like big hits in those like scenarios where it's like I don't even think they're going like they go like full speed, but it's not like actual football.
Yeah.
So like I don't know how like that would.
There's been so many fights breaking out this training camp cycle. Trevor Penning's gotten in 3 fights with the Saints.
3 days in a row. I was not happy.
You guys drafted him.
Trevor Penning, to be honest. I wanted us to get like we'd get like Charles Cross or one of the other tackles that was in the draft, but then we had to get Trevor Penning because he was the only one left available, and he does fit our like model because we love those big athletic guys. But yeah, no, he's gonna get like suspended in like 2 weeks. Like it's gonna be the worst, man. Yeah.
Oh, he's perfect for the Saints. He'll fit right in with bounty game.
Yeah,
exactly. He'll just injure players and it'll be fine.
Yeah. AFL hates this, man. I like that. NFL's coming to get us. Alvin Kamara's gonna be out for a year.
I didn't have you get in 2 fights in a row, and then you don't go home the next day and go, you know what? I need to really tone it down next practice. I need to not try because I need to get not riled up, and then someone pisses you off so much that you get in a third fight and get kicked out of practice. It's like, how do you not have the self-control?
CTE.
It's on the third day. CTE, he's like 20.
It's just like
early on. I mean, well, because did you guys hear the interview with him where he's like, well, ask me what my favorite thing is about football. And then the guy's like, what's your favorite thing about football? He's like, to be able to legally assault the other person in front of me. It's like,
anytime anyone talks to him, like it's like,
it's just like, all right, bro. I didn't even want to ask that question, but okay.
He's massive, too. Like he's just like going. He's like 6'7".
He's a big dude.
Huge, but like
he's a large.
No, he seems insane. Anytime I've seen an interview with him, like, this is not like you played too much football in like Pop Warner or whatever. Like you gotta tone it down here.
Yeah. Man. Your parents did not teach you how to play football correctly. They're like, see that other person wearing the different color uniform than you? Kill them. Kill them now. It's like, okay. Christ.
Getting a little bit back on track here. Jacob and Will, how did you guys meet each other?
Oh, right. We didn't ask that.
I don't care.
Do you want to take it or?
It is a hard pivot, I understand, but.
Yeah. So I moved down to New Orleans going into 7th grade. So
from where?
Which say?
Thank you. Just to let everyone know, Jacob is from Pennsylvania. Yeah, he supports Bama. It makes no sense. Moving on.
This is true.
Oh well. But anyways, so I lived in York, Pennsylvania. I moved down to New Orleans, and I moved down to New Orleans going to 7th grade, and decided to go to Newman. And Will also was going to that school, so we were 2 out of the 3 new kids in our grade for that year. So we had like a new kid orientation, and we met like each other and then another kid, and I guess from there, like we were like kind of friends, you know, like relatively close, but I think like obviously like as time passed, like we got closer, like we were together as friends, like formed a friend group with like certain kids in our grade, and that's basically how it happened. And then I guess like just throughout the high school, like towards the end of high school, I think like our friendship just got closer. Like we'd just be hanging out more, doing like different things like with the group, and then like I don't know if like we're all hanging out or if like somebody's free, like we'll typically hang out. Like you had your apartment, we could always just hang out there. You were always like gracious enough to let us hang out there, so it was pretty cool. But Yeah, like we entered a new school at the same time.
Yeah,
so,
no, exactly.
And like at the
so,
same grade. So that's basically what happened. Right?
I was moving schools from going to like this public school in the West Bank, and I moved to Newman. And yeah, you know, we were 2 or 3. And so yeah, we just kind of hit it off. The third one of us, I guess y'all are wondering about him. He's like a fine dude, but he just wasn't really he wasn't like, we weren't really throwing it down, I guess, in the same way. And so yeah, but then Jacob and I went to the same middle school and high school for like 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and then I left Newman for 10th grade, going to Ben Franklin, which is the one I do that. Anyways, and then I moved out of state and all this stuff. I ended up coming back to Newman for my senior year, and then yeah, we became like much even better friends like senior year. You know, we just did more stuff together, hung out more. You know, and yeah, just like the friendship grew from there. Also, our moms have always been friends, like since they met on that orientation day. So,
that's
that's how you
remember
it. Locks it in.
Really, like it made it easy right there. My mom's always like, "Yeah, no, I love Jacob's mom and Jacob and all that." So I'm like, "Yeah, cool." You know, I got the go ahead there. But yeah, so yeah. Oh, also, I guess is this the time when I should share my my washed athlete moment sort of thing, or okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, it's like 1.5 stories. So like the first one, I guess, is senior year, right? It's the like final indoor meet of the season, it's indoor state or whatever, and it's like during Mardi Gras, right? And so it's like literally like everyone had just like come from going to parades the next day to like driving up to Baton Rouge to go to LSU for the indoor state meet, right? And like there's like it's from all over the states. There's like tons of like whatever like kids or whatever who just didn't go to Mardi Gras or whatever. So we're at a competitive disadvantage here, obviously. And so yeah, the only event I was running that day was the 4x8. But then then 2 or 3 people, like one person was injured on the 4x4 team, and another person who was like also a captain on the team was just like, I don't want to run it and will not run it. And then so eventually, and then the next person also had just come from like the 1600 and the 3200. So it was like basically came down to me to run the 4x4 or this other guy who's about as fast as me, who's a little younger than me. And I was like, I gotta get home. You got this, buddy. You can take the 4x4. So he ended up running the 4x4, and then but yeah, that's not the super fun story. But I was pretty lazy there, anyways. So there was another event where I was running the 32. I'd run the 4x8 earlier in the day, but 32 was the last race of the day at this meet for some reason. And so they decided. I know.
What a terrible way to end the meet.
They decided they were like, all right, we're gonna merge the boys and girls 3200 meter, right? And I had I was the fastest 3200 running that on our team. I felt like fine there doing it, right? It was me and one other guy, but the thing is, on the girls team there was this one girl who was just like kind of like a prodigy at the sport. She was in like 8th grade, but she was on like varsity and she was killing it. Like she was easily the fastest girl on the team, and she could like compete with me at practice and stuff. And so I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know she hasn't beaten me before, but like, there's a possibility that the 8th grader could beat me as a senior in high school. So I need to like make sure I do not get beaten by an 8th grader here. I won by like.
You're like, there's potential here to be.
Yeah.
This is very potential to be bad.
I ran the race. I ended up winning, but I beat her like 20, 30 seconds or something. It was fine, but like. Yeah. Oh no.
You were making sure that you did not get beat. You were just
started the race. I was like, I'm going with the people at the front. I am keeping her in my rear view the whole time. And the funny thing was,
for all
most of the team was definitely rooting
also
for
I was totally rooting.
Like,
good, absolutely. Like that's what friends do.
Most everybody there was like, "Come on, Ava, you got this."
Yeah.
Come on, like. Yeah. No, I mean, I ran a pretty good race.
You did run
There was this one like kid who had come in front of me, but then just like wasn't fast enough to keep pace with the people who I was pacing with the whole time. So I started pacing with him. Then eventually I got ahead of him because he was just like blocking my way, but that slowed me down a little bit. But either way, I ran fine and definitely beat the 8th grader. But yeah,
you had to clutch. You had to clutch up to get this W.
My man's turned into like prime Jordan
like,
during a flu game. He was like, I need to do this
Down
now.
3-1 LeBron.
The whole last 400 meter, I was just like moving. I'm like, I'm getting this in. I am done here. Like, I will win this.
It would have been worse if you tripped. If you had tripped and like lost by some time, it would have been like, bro, you just ran 3,200 meters, tripped, lost to this 8th grade girl in your senior year in your final indoor meet.
The funny thing was, the other guy who was running with me, who at a couple meets before, like he had run with me like during cross country and like beaten me at certain points in the cross country season, and then and he had run with me at the last 3,200 meter we run together. For the most part, but yeah, he actually did get beaten by the 8th grader. He was a sophomore, but still, he totally did get beaten. So
it was
he was definitely fighting for his life in the locker room.
Highlight of the meet. Oh,
I'm sure everybody was clowning him.
Yeah, but that was
my god.
So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the last week.
I just did not run a mile in that year.
Wow.
I don't know. It was fine. I don't care. Like I don't know. But
it would have totally been a great wash story if you had lost and then you were like, and I never ran again.
That was my last.
And I was never able to. Yeah, I quit.
Yeah.
I retired immediately.
I haven't had the courage to put my running shoes on since.
Just as long as Infinity War.
Yeah, just snapped out of
Literally, yeah.
I break my ankles on purpose at the end of the game. Like I can't do this anymore. You know.
Yeah. It's a reverse Tanya Harding. You just take a wrench and break your own leg.
You wait 5 years to do something about it. Then 5 years later, you're like an adult, and then you're like, I need to take the first step. And then you like tie your shoes one day. You don't go out for running, but you just put the running shoes on. And then the next day, you like walk with the running shoes on, and then you start like slowly jogging, and then you turn into like the best marathon runner of all time.
Oh no, then it's like you're like at the track, and then that girl comes back and then smokes you again on this track that you're running on.
You're pretty much relapsing at that point.
That's it. So.
Yeah. She just like comes, I was like, oh hey, I think I ran with you one time. You just leave. It's like, nope, not doing this.
Yeah,
oh my god,
that's funny. So we were talking a little bit about gumbo before the pod because Jacob and Will are both from New Orleans, and in New Orleans they do enjoy a good pot of gumbo. And we often
know it till I die, but go ahead.
What?
Sorry.
Yes.
So we also know someone, Zion Williamson, plays for the New Orleans Pelicans, who does like to indulge in some gumbo, according to us, and only us. He might not even like gumbo, but we say he does. And this prompted me to read to Will the gumbo equation I made on June 13th. So I had pretty much gone in and figured out approximately how much money a gumbo quart was, and then I did the math to figure out how much gumbo Zion Williamson could buy with his new extension. So we're going to go detail this a little bit for the pod listeners. If you don't play basketball, trust me, this is still going to be good. All right, so Zion Williamson signed a $182 million extension, right?
Big
extension, a lot of money, a lot of gumbo. So if you take a quart of seafood gumbo that I found online, so roughly like $29, right? And you take $182 million and you divide that by 29, you get 6.275 million quarts of gumbo. That's a lot of gumbo. But quarts is not a great measurement. So let's take it into gallons, right? You get a gallon water jug from the store. That's 1.5 million gallons of gumbo. That's a lot of water. And that means he could eat a gallon of gumbo a day for 4,288 years. And that would be 2,376 calories of gumbo a day.
Nice. Yeah.
If he ate a gallon, right? So in total, he could buy 3.7 times 10 to the 9 calories of gumbo with his NBA contract. But it gets better because we have to account for the fact that 4,288 years is a lot longer than one lifetime, right? And Zion's only 21 years old, so we're going to give him the average age of a male is 79, so we're going to give him 60 more years to live. And 60 years is 21,900 days. So that means he could finish his supply of gumbo by eating 71 gallons of gumbo a day. And if he did this to finish out all the gumbo he buys with it, he would have to eat 170,000 calories of gumbo in a day if he wanted to get through his entire gumbo supply before he died. which means he would eat 3 times more calories a day than the world record holder ever did for calories in a day. And he'd have to do it every day. But I understand Zion's a pretty generous fella. So, if he spreads all of this gumbo amongst his teammates, he could give them each about 5 gallons of gumbo a day until they all die. And that would be about 11,000 calories for each person on his team. So he could give his team 11,000 calories a day of gumbo until the day they die if he uses all of his money on seafood gumbo that I found online.
Yeah.
Which he's going to do this.
Yes.
Yeah. The entire New Orleans Pelicans roster is going to be walking around with big bellies.
like Devontae Graham's getting the team.
Yeah, everyone eats. Yeah,
everybody's.
Jackson Hayes is getting it. Jose Alvarado. Yeah. Everyone's
Jose Alvarado's
eating.
going to make Marshawn Lynch by the end of this. He's just going to be huge. Just wide.
I feel like when you hear 4,288 years of just eating 2,300 calories, you're like, wait, that's not bad. Like 2,300 calories is totally manageable.
But then you remember how long that is.
Yeah, then you don't fathom how like 4,268 years is like longer than the United States has been a country.
It's a lot longer.
And then you're like,
no,
oh.
that's longer than we've been out. Like, because 2,000. Like, think about it. We're in the year 2022. Yeah. That is double the amount of time that we have like declared time. Essentially,
yeah. It's like for all of time you have to be eating it. So then when you break it down into like an average lifespan, you're like, oh, 170,000 calories a day of gumbo.
That's a lot of gumbo.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you can't eat it and you die.
I mean, obviously, but
and that would be assuming that you could even like mentally like do that. Like it wouldn't even be a mental feat. Like your brain would just be like, I can't eat. You just like profusely throw up.
Yeah,
it'd be really bad. So Zion has a lot he can do with his money, and I think the obvious answer is to buy gumbo for the entire homeless population of NOLA.
Like
Everyone gets gumbo.
I like that.
Perfect.
Should Zion open a gumbo truck?
Wait, what? I just didn't know that.
Yes.
Zion's gumbo truck?
Zion's gumbo truck, just free samples.
Why is he just okay? Why is he just making gumbo? It's just you said it's from seafood gumbo, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. I think you should vary it up. Have some...
Well, I think you might be covering your mic.
No, I feel like you should do it with like shrimp po' boys or something, you know, where it's just like there's a lot of bread there, you know, like he's gonna, you know, like there's
like switch it up, I'm sure,
you know, like with the Zion like level of consumption.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was just like a standard measurement. Obviously, we're assuming that Zion is very generous with his food selections. Diverse, he will eat any and anything,
like crawfish.
Exactly.
The crawfish boil or whatever Raj calls it.
Zion could open a restaurant and have it run on its own cash.
Yeah.
Forever, actually.
Be like the best version of Manning's. I don't know. Manning's is not. They don't have good food, but they're just, you know. And also, none of the Manning's actually. There's a place in New Orleans called Manning's, obviously after Archie, all the guys. Whatever, and it's just kind of like it's not owned by any of the Mannings. It's just like named Mannings because you know tourists come here and they're like, oh, I want to go to the Manning place, whatever. Their food's fine, it's like you know crappy like you know diner food or whatever. It's what it is. So, but yeah, could it be something like that or like also I don't know if y'all know who Bobby Hebert is, but he was like a Saints quarterback back in the day. He's got like a radio show. But he has a restaurant out in Metairie, which is like a suburb of New Orleans. That's just called Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant, and the food's like fine, I guess. I feel like that's where Zion's like restaurant would be located. Just like it's okay, people go there because Zion's name is on it, you know, that sort of deal. Like, but
well, it's like Jerome Bettis has some kind of like bar in North Shore named after him, but I'm not sure he owns it at all.
Yeah,
it's like a very similar situation where I'm not even sure he like.
After him.
Yeah, I think it's just named after him too.
Is it the Jerome Bettis Bar and Grill?
Probably something like that. Yeah,
Jerome Bettis Bar. Mario's Oakland after Kenny. Don't you worry about it.
Kenny Pickett's.
Oh, it's permanently closed.
Oh,
the bus is stopped.
So it's not the Jerome Bettis Bar and Grill.
The bus has stopped. It's broken down.
Quote. Oh, okay. Bettis apparently does own it. He said, "No, I don't think this restaurant is going to come back. It's been so many issues that we've had to deal with. I think you probably know. Best to say our last goodbyes."
The bus just giving a heartfelt note, sorry guys, it's like the 5 people that like my restaurant, like it's been tough, but
yeah. I guess I just always wonder why people would would just give up on it, because Jerome Bettis has got to have a lot of money. It almost feels like there's no reason that you need to shut down an operation. Whatever the issues were, I feel like you could financially get yourself out of the situation.
I mean,
but,
he could.
That's not how rich people stay rich.
He's probably burning through money because it's not very good and doesn't get a lot of patrons outside of tourists or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know. That's just speculation. So, yeah.
All right, so I think now we're doing another transition.
Well,
Jacob has talked a lot about you. And one of the things he says about is your knowledge of superhero movies and just movies in general. So today we're going to pull up a nice, big and long superhero bracket. And you're going to pick pretty much what the best super movie is.
Real hard. Is it really?
We were all thinking it all the same wavelength. We were all thinking it.
Oh my gosh.
Raj is texting in our side chat about Wi-Fi, so I'm so distracted trying to get my points across.
Dude,
I don't blame
you said, because it was so funny, because you said that and then just stopped, and we were like, what?
Oh my God.
Raj is distracting me.
Yeah.
Great, Andres, thanks for commenting. The bracket is big and hard. All right, thanks. So I'm just going to pull up the bracket before we get any more deeper in here. So, Will, we're going to have you select through maybe some short responses. I'm just going to stop talking, Will. You're going to take over here because this is not worth it.
I can mark the clip. Yep.
All right, so first up on this list, you got Spider-Man 3 versus what? Everyone can see my screen, correct?
Oh, there we go.
It's loading. It's loading. There we go.
All right. So you got Spider-Man 3, Wonder Woman. Who you taking?
Superior film. I like Spider-Man 3. I have more nostalgia there for it. I probably am entertained more by it. But just Wonder Woman is overall a better made film, better written, has on the whole better performances. Yeah, I think Wonder Woman wins.
Good.
You see, again, I have
incredible
a lot more
take.
Nostalgia for X-Men versus Shazam, but it's just Shazam is objectively better, so Shazam wins.
Shazam.
Also, if anyone else has any objections to Will's comments, please feel free to jump in.
Has anyone else seen Shazam here? Because that's a great take. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not gonna change your life, but it's a good movie.
Especially coming from the DCU.
The Last Stand.
Is that what X-Men is that?
It's the third one.
Yes, it's
X-Men the Last Stand.
Is that the bad one?
Yeah.
Age of Ultron wins because
okay,
it's
so
not
then
terrible.
we're taking. I'm taking Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
You don't take Age of Ultron over a lot of other films, which is really interesting. It's got that matchup there.
It's there's too much. There's too many plots going on. It's a big.
Okay. This is an easy one.
Come on. Come on.
Thor.
This is in a.
That's just insulting.
Deadpool.
Oh, this matchup is really good here.
I don't know.
I think this is a really good matchup.
I love Deadpool.
Oh, really?
Bingo. Without question. Without question.
I'm gonna say
Deadpool 2 by 50.
I really enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I didn't think Deadpool 2 lived up to the hype of Deadpool 1.
I think Deadpool 2 is just better and funnier, and I think it's less of a filler movie than I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp is. I also just don't like what it's like. I don't know. I don't like the villain. It's the whole other deal. But this Iron Man 3, I think I'm taking it. Original Fantastic Four is fine, but
yeah. It's campy. It's old, but I don't know. Iron Man 3 is just better.
I actually liked. I
think this is pretty
Marvel,
swift
but
and
I'm gonna
device.
say Doctor Strange because it's better just visually. Civil War. That's easy.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's not even close.
That's not even close.
I mean, it's a terrible.
Good God!
Wow,
Not the Zack Snyder one.
Yeah.
This is Ang Lee.
Yes, this is original Justice League.
Which Hulk is this? Is this?
Yeah.
No,
I honestly have.
yeah, this is not the Incredible Hulk. This is like.
Offensively bad.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Wow. All right. Fair enough.
Okay, in game. That's come on. Like,
Oh
boy.
come on.
Oh boy.
I think Hulk's not making it through the next round.
I love it. Vengeance, but Avengers wins without question. Like, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Logan.
some of these just are not
Logan
close.
versus
You
Spider-Man.
gotta go Logan. You gotta go Logan. Come on.
Thank God. Thank God.
I thought it was Spider-Man Homecoming first, and then I was gonna say it's a closer
Logan
matchup.
is great.
Just much better. Like it's not. Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have to. It's between like a movie I think is mediocre and a movie I haven't seen. So, I guess I guess I'm gonna go Man of Steel because I haven't seen Blade 2. So, The Dark Knight. Yeah, there we go.
Oh my
Damn.
goodness.
Fair, that's fair.
That's tough. Piss off.
Move on.
I guess The Dark Knight.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Look at this.
Shazam versus Wonder Woman. I think.
All right, this is the
Shazam.
first round. So.
Yeah, I enjoy Shazam a lot more.
Ooh.
Spider-Man
Mm.
I think it's, yeah, like it is better.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Deadpool 2 over Iron Man 3, even though I like Iron Man 3.
Yep. Agreed.
Civil War,
Yeah.
pretty quick and easy. Like, I don't know, like it's in game. There we go.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Oh God. Jesus.
Oh, I'm not on the. Okay, so we're gonna do out the whole left side of the bracket and move to the right side. I was wondering why the matchups weren't great, but it's because we have a whole other side.
Like Logan is just a much better movie.
Agreed.
Iron Man is much better than Man of Steel. So, like, it's not even close.
Oh, it's like both the origin stories too. It's just like a direct comparison. Like it's just so much better.
Like The Dark Knight Rises has the same flaws the Dark Knight has, but
yeah.
more flaws. Like it's just like I don't know. It's yeah.
Exactly. It's just more movie.
Justin.
All right. I was trying to fix it so we could go onto the right side, but that's not gonna work like that. So we're gonna fix this. We're just gonna keep going on the left side.
Gonna go controversial here. I like Shazam a lot. I think it's what a superhero movie should be. I think it's fun, lighthearted,
Really?
nice, approachable. Like, you don't have to watch like a ton of different movies.
Wow.
Spider-Man 2.
Over
Spider-Man
2?
I know,
Spider-Man
it's a
2 is
controversial
like
take. I can like I don't know. Like I like Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 is a very well done movie. I love Sam Raimi. I love like almost all of his like filmography. It's like he's one of my favorite directors. But yeah, I think Shazam does a lot similar things to Spider-Man 2 in terms of like what makes it successful, but at the same time does it in an era wherein like the superhero genre is more refined and like it has I don't know, like it's coming after like a movie like Man of Steel where it's like it's very much like a focus on being like too dark and like overly like trying to copy that sort of like Dark Knight-esque formula where it's like almost breaking the mold to get like this sort of throwback like Christopher Reeve Superman-esque like Shazam movie. It's just like it's fun, it's not too serious, it's like easy, it's easy to digest while at the same time being like a nice well-rounded story with good characters in it. So yeah, I'm gonna go Shazam anyways. Civil War wins this one. Deadpool 2 is good, but Civil War is better. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Logan is the better movie here. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like it just like
that's a close.
I would say it's a good matchup.
The Dark Knight's better than Iron Man is. So the Dark Knight is there.
Yeah.
This is tough.
But again, I feel like those are fair matchups, which is good, right? Like they're
Shazam,
very solid matchups that you like to see.
Even though the one complaint which a lot of people talked about recently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shazam ends its run.
Yeah, you have proven you are a ride or die. So the fact that you did end up choosing Civil War eventually, like you were riding with Shazam for a while. Yes.
Logan wins.
Yes.
I love that reference.
Ooh, that's tough.
Logan wins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch Logan, man. Like
it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Logan's really good.
Too. Like it's, I don't know. It's
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you can argue that The Dark Knight might be a better like movie. Like it's directed by Christopher Nolan and all that. But like But
I
Logan,
it's
like
completely
I
valid.
I
It's
see what
totally
you're saying
agree.
in that
Is
regard. I also
significantly.
don't think Logan. I don't
I
think Dark
love
Knight
that movie
is a
so
better
much.
movie on its own than Logan. I mean, I think it
Yeah.
has like arguably better standout performances. That's really kind of tough
Yeah.
to gauge. Like I think it's like I don't know. Like I think like yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
Hugh Jackman,
Oh, yeah,
obviously
absolutely.
Daphne Keane,
Yeah.
and Patrick Stewart are amazing in Logan. But yeah, obviously Heath Ledger goes without saying, and Aaron Eckhart is a performance that like doesn't get a lot of respect, but despite the fact that the writing of the character doesn't really make any sense, he delivers an amazing performance. Like it just so yeah. What's the next one up though?
Yeah.
What do we got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I want to first go. Does anyone have any thoughts on looking at this left side of the bracket as we kind of scroll through? Does anyone have anything where they're like shocked? I mean, I think obviously the shocker here is Spider-Man 2 going out to Shazam.
Huge upset.
It's a huge upset.
It's a good movie.
I need to watch Shazam.
No, but it's not that. It's a respectable.
That's a
bracket.
big upset. Logan should have been the one coming out of this side of the bracket. That's
you know.
Yeah.
Respectable.
Don't.
You got
I mean, I haven't seen Logan, but I know the
it's
reputation
not
of Logan.
movie. I don't know.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Justin, I'm not going to lie.
tough.
You might start crying at the end.
Oh, man.
Well,
It's on Disney.
Yeah.
It's on Disney Plus. The problem is, I've explained this on the pod before, like, because my MCU journey started so late, I've been playing so much catch up that like some of these other projects that aren't MCU related almost feel like distractions sometimes. So I need to really like, even though I'll start other shows, like I just need to commit to watching like all the X-Men's and all the other projects that Marvel puts out that aren't
X-Men
necessarily
terrible.
MCU
It's
projects.
insanely confusing. It makes no sense.
Well, because there's
it's very.
It's rebooted like 4 different
the funniest
times.
part
Like
is how
there's
It's
yes. Green Lantern is that X2, right?
Oh, Green Lantern.
That's what,
no question.
X2 is better than Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's true.
I love Green Lantern though.
yeah.
That it's terrible.
Whoa!
I think it's like X2 is actually like the best
First class, I
X-Men.
think, is the best overall.
Like it's like
X-Men.
very good.
Whoa,
That like
Oh,
first class.
Days of Future
Days
Past.
of Future Past is not better.
Yeah,
It's just I don't think it is. It's like it's like
Oh,
like,
right.
it's a
I
good
forgot about
movie.
Days of Future Past.
It's
I like
a
it
lot
better
more
than First Class.
spectacle to it than First Class does. But I think First Class has better characters. It spends more time. Like it spends better time. It's just better character moments overall. The story makes more sense. It's just more concise and just like a well told individual narrative. That I think First Class. I think Days of Future Past is. And I think Days of Future Past is a little bit too.
That's what I told Andres after he said it was like, Andres made some.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh well, you're breaking your mic again.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah.
There we
no,
go.
There we go.
I guess I'm just a sucker.
No,
for spectacles.
I mean, there's a like that is respectable to
Andres
that,
likes
but also,
colors.
I mean, I'm
We
also
have
averse
determined.
to putting Days of Future Past higher because it is directed by Bryan Singer. I prefer Matthew Vaughn to Bryan Singer, not only for the obvious reason that I think Matthew Vaughn's better at directing, but also because Bryan Singer is a terrible person. So it's it's pretty easy there to.
Yeah,
No, like-
that is true. That is very no.
That too.
Yeah, but,
We'll factor that in.
Yeah, Guardians 2. I'm gonna say here on this one. Yeah, I think it was.
Oh man.
What you're a big Ant-Man
Easy.
fan?
Shut up,
Hurts
Justin.
my soul.
I
Ant-Man's
Guardians
so fun.
2 is like kind of like a bad film if you like look at it closely.
Yes,
I mean, you got Star-Lord playing catch with his dad,
Yeah.
who murders all of the kids to fuel his planet, and then he wants
Yeah.
his son to take over the role as being like the celestial god. And then Drax is making very insensitive jokes about how ugly Mantis is, like to her face, and it's just. The plot is like kind of disgusting, and then also at the same time, like it's just like a clunky movie with a lot going on. You've got like the Nova Corps is a threat. You got the Ravengers' whole entire plot line. And then even at the end,
people are.
What?
Gold, the Sovereign, yeah. Nova
Just
Corps.
like-
no, but the Nova Corps, yeah,
Sovereign.
the Nova
Sovereign.
Corps in it. Yeah, and then there's and then there's Egos like the villain, and then there's a lot going on, and I don't think it's. I think
I
Ant-Man's
can
a very
understand
fun
that,
and like straightforward
but
plot that I appreciate.
I really like James Gunn's directing style. I think it's a pretty funny movie. I think it's very fun. It has, again, good character work in terms of like Peter Quill. Like, while you can you can criticize like I guess the father relationship, it makes sense that he very much wants that and necessitates that from the perspective of someone who never had a dad outside of a guy who's like, I'm going to eat you if you don't do this, whatever. And then eventually the guy comes, and also you get like a nice payoff with Yondu as well between like him and Rocket, discussing their sort of like similarity in terms of being like emotionally like hostile and I guess like anemic in that regard, and like very much wanting to close themselves off because of like fear of being hurt sort of there. I like that. I feel like I like how he navigates the characters there. I think James Gunn does it better in Guardians of the Galaxy and also in other other superhero media that he's done. Like Peacemaker, I think Peacemaker's great, but that's a whole other conversation. Yes. I think it's better than Ant-Man. Ant-Man's nice. It's a nice little movie. It's Paul Rudd's great. You can't dislike Paul Rudd, but it's a very Peyton Reed little like whatever fine movie. Thor Ragnarok is much better. I rewatched it the other day. X-Men Origins Wolverine is fun and stupid, but Thor Ragnarok is much better. Oh yeah.
I think it's Aquaman here.
I think it's a nice,
oh
nice
my
little
God.
superhero movie. Sure, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's really like cheesy and over the top. But yeah, Infinity War.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. That is. Ugh.
Too bad
it's a tough one though. I don't know. I love really loved the original Suicide Squad. That's just a grade A movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Really?
Deadpool does win though.
Really love
Batman
that.
vs Superman is a garbage fire. It's a dumb. It's the worst of Zack Snyder excess right there. Captain America: The First Avenger is better than Thor.
Exactly.
X-Men First Class easily. I think it's my favorite.
There's your first class.
I don't know. This is tough actually. This is really tough.
Let's see. I feel passionate about
this is a tough one. Yeah.
That's a great.
Okay.
Yes,
Anders, you're gonna say Days of Future Past, aren't
I'm
you?
intrigued.
Yes, he is.
I would also say Days of Future
I'm intrigued
Past.
to hear what y'all think on this one.
My man's
I have
down
my
bad
decisions,
for
but
Jennifer Lawrence.
I want to hear what y'all think here. It's maybe the toughest one I've had so far. So, yeah. Okay.
Haven't seen Batman Begins, so I don't have an opinion.
Disappointing.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, I think
What are we doing?
this is tough because I really do like Days of the Future Past, and I really probably prefer. Oh, man, this is. I like.
Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah,
and,
actually, technically, the correct pronunciation is Ra's al Ghul, even though it doesn't make any sense.
Ra's al Ghul.
They don't pronounce it like that in the movie, but like it is technically pronounced. In Batman Begins.
Wait. Does Ra's al Ghul actually show up?
Yeah, he's the main villain. Like he's like in a dream sequence in like Dark Knight Rises, but yeah, he's the main villain in Batman.
He's Qui-Gon.
Oh yeah.
What?
Wait, is that the actual villain, or are you saying the guy who plays Ra's al Ghul in Arrow?
Liam Neeson plays Ra's al Ghul in the movie.
What?
Wait, time out. Wait,
I haven't seen the
you
movie.
saying?
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
We were talking about the Dark Knight. We're talking about Batman Begins.
I haven't seen Batman.
Where
Begins.
did Arrow come into this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
no shit. He's a villain in the Batman comics.
I didn't know if
Batman
Andres was referring to the actor as. I didn't know if
Begins.
Andres was referring to the actor as the character name from Arrow. That's why I was confused.
The character name is just a character.
I haven't seen it.
Totally different people.
Every Batman project.
Yo, do you mean like Scarecrow from like that one obscure animated series, or like Scarecrow from this? Yeah. Yeah. Let's go!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! This might be.
This is an easy choice.
Wow, what a tough matchup, man.
This one,
Two Michael B. Jordan movies. Oh.
Oh, can you not?
So this is Black Panther versus Fan Force.
This is
It's hard. Oh. Thank God.
Can you see screen now, or do we need to keep
Give it a second.
voicing it?
Yeah.
He is.
He's passed, but out of the.
You watched it? You ended up
he's not
watching
here
it?
anymore. But
Fan
no,
Four
I
Stick?
watched Fantastic Four.
Fan Four Stick. You have to specify.
I watched it. I watched Fan
It
Four
was a
Stick.
movie.
My goodness, it was like the plot was kind of just like
It is such a
unbelievable
train wreck.
that, like it felt like the mentor got killed off like in the same act as the villain did. Like I felt like that was like the pacing
I
was
told
awful.
you to save yourself the time.
The
I
acting was
warned you.
awful. The plot was awful. Like there just wasn't anything really good about the movie.
It was laughably bad.
Like it was just. I mean, it was great to see,
Yeah.
but it was bad, and it
Good
was just like a
actors in
not
it, though.
like.
That's why I'm so confused.
Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, like it was
They
like
just didn't do a
Miles
good
Teller,
job.
Michael B. Jordan.
Like it was bad.
Oh my God! Like
Let me admit it
Will
back
said
in.
he's
Thanks
in the
for
waiting room.
letting me know. I couldn't see
but-
because I was over on the other tab.
That's all good. But
Yeah.
it's just a bad movie, and like I'll
No.
like to watch
Fan
bad
Four
movies.
Stick
is
and
not even-
criticize them,
it's
but
not
it's a
funny.
bad
It's like
movie in
just
such
every
a
part of
sense
it's
that it's
bad.
not even like a
they're-
funny
from,
bad
the
movie.
directing, the
It's just
acting,
bad.
the writing, like, the pacing
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. It's just not a good film. Oh, dude, this is another hard matchup, man. Because I think Winter Soldier is a better movie. But hold on, I like Batman a lot more. Like I love that movie. That's one of my favorite superhero movies.
I never
So
watched that.
oh,
yeah, I guess we're hitting Batman. Even though I think Winter Soldier is better, I prefer Batman.
So we're hitting Batman.
Oh,
dang!
Okay, I respect the. I have subjective
good.
over objective.
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
also like a lot of it is like nostalgia. I love Michael Keaton Batman. I like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. But just the Returns matchup, Batman Returns wins here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this Batman Returns for sure. Like I don't know, it's Superman Returns is. Ooh, two movies that are both not great and not viewed highly by people that I kind of enjoy. Though Iron Man 2 is definitely better, even though Batman Forever has a lot going for it.
Yes, sir.
I am, dude. Iron Man 2. I am such a sucker for watching the final,
I
like
love
the
Iron
War
Man
Machine,
2, man.
Iron
I'm a
Man
huge
fighting
Iron
against the
Man 2
drones.
is
Man,
not
it's
bad. Iron Man
so
2
good.
is great. Justin Hammer is a top tier MCU villain. Okay, he needs to come back.
I'm such a sucker.
It's
For
not
it.
good.
He needs to come back.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I would not go that far.
Okay, it's not.
I think he is.
Look,
coming back.
he is.
Like, yeah,
He should come back for
definitely
Armor
confirmed
Wars
return.
or whatever they're
So,
doing.
I'm a
Like he
big-
should.
He
Yeah.
is. He's already confirmed to come
Better.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank God.
He's
Thank
way
God.
better than like
Oh, really?
almost any Phase 1 MCU villain. I think. Like I don't know. Like he's better than. He's
Sounds
definitely
ridiculous,
better than
yeah.
Obadiah Stane in Iron Man 1. He's maybe not. Yes, he
Who
is.
else though?
Yeah.
With a box of
No, he's not.
man, like
He built this in a
all I
cave.
have here is my
The Big
bathrobe,
Lebowski.
my White Russian dude. It's, but yeah, no, I think he's a better. I think Sam Rockwell's great, and I think he needs more screen time in the MCU. But in this debate though, because I again haven't seen Blade, and I really like Spider-Man: Homecoming. Spider-Man: Homecoming wins. So, ooh.
All right, the Wolverine.
I think
is a
Spider-Man:
great
Homecoming
movie.
objectively
I
is just
enjoyed
the
it.
The first two
better
acts
Very
are great.
underrated.
The third act is
Very underrated.
The third act is an awful
That's
awful
fair, that's
2000 superhero movie.
Oh,
It's
the
just,
third
it
is
doesn't make any
terrible, but
sense.
yeah.
It's stupid. The first two acts, cool.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's just when it's just Logan like being like a samurai. Like there's like that one scene of him like fighting whoever and they like put the sword into him and he's like still
thought the way they
alive
did
and they're
that
like,
Hiroshima
what are
was
you?
sick.
Like that is so cool.
His the fight scene of him like on the train,
That was
like
that was
on like
crazy.
Very
the
harrowing,
hyper rail,
but yeah.
like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's incredibly well directed. Just like a
Yeah.
great and
Oh
same
my
director
God.
as Logan as well.
Crazy.
So it's, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wolverine
Oh, I did not
wins
know
here,
that.
even though Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, Kick-Ass.
I would take the one.
It is in fact a movie.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Are you
yeah,
sure?
that's not even really that
I don't
close.
know.
Shut up.
This is tough, but I'm
Kick-Ass,
going
alright.
based on nostalgia,
X2
and I think
versus
it may
Volume
be better
2?
X2. X2. I mean, it's a close one.
Not bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, it's just like, I don't know.
Ooh.
Like, you can enjoy
Ooh.
Thor Ragnarok.
You're getting an
as a movie.
ooh out of
You have to
this?
watch a lot of movies to watch Avengers Infinity War, but Avengers Infinity War is better. So, Avengers Infinity War wins. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I can respect that take, but I would never respect picking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Ah,
like,
damn,
I don't know.
that's
Why
tough.
couldn't we have had this
This is
versus
a
like
tough
Hulk?
one.
This is a really good
No, like, I
matchup.
don't know, like...
Yeah, that's both are fun. Both
yeah,
of
these
them
are both
fun.
good movies. I really like. I rewatched it a while long ago. Really fun little movie. Guardians of the Galaxy is also a really nice, sweet movie. I think it's. I like Deadpool more. So Deadpool. That's it. Like it's just like it's like not like maybe it's not the better movie. Like I think probably Guardians of the Galaxy is the better movie. X-Men First Class wins here. That was easy. But X-Men First Class clearly wins over First Avenger. The first fight.
Yeah. Smoked.
I know. I don't get it.
Jacob's
I don't
a
know
big
why he
First
loves that.
Avenger guy.
Probably not according to Jacob, because Jacob's a big First Avenger stan.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 is better than First Avenger.
I love First Avenger.
Iron Man 2
I
is
love
better
First
than
Avenger. I have
We know it's
reasons.
bad. Okay, we accept it. We know it's bad.
It's not.
I
Peter,
do
you
like
like
the
First
First Avenger.
Avenger.
It's not good, but I like it because I
not
love
good.
Captain America. It's not like, okay, maybe I
bad.
overstated that. Like, it's not
movie.
bad,
Yeah.
but like
Good movie.
when you're putting it in comparison to X Men
like, I
First
think
Class,
Red
like
Sox
it's
baseball.
there's
Wonder Woman
levels
in
to
a lot of ways
this.
is just like a slightly better directed, better
Oh,
shot
absolutely.
version of First
Yeah.
Avenger. Like I think they're very similar movies, quality wise. Like I think they're like pretty much on
Yes,
par with
yes.
each other.
Yep.
It's like Wonder Woman's just a little bit better.
Of yes, absolutely.
In this one,
Yes.
I personally prefer
Yeah.
Batman Begins, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Batman Begins. I like Batman Begins more than Black Panther. I like even a lot of fans of the originals will probably say
You know, stick to
Returns.
your
I like
guns.
the original though more, so Batman wins here.
Dang.
Yeah, Batman Returns is fine. It's good. It's maybe better. I don't know. It's more Tim Burton. Homecoming is better, even though I enjoy these movies pretty similarly. So Homecoming is better. It just is. Yeah. That's it. Homecoming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
goes without saying.
Kick-Ass beats the Wolverine.
It just is.
Yeah. Like, I think it just does. Infinity War
Yeah,
beats
Kick-Ass
X2,
smokes.
I think. Like, yeah, I like
Kick-Ass
X2.
is
X2 is
really
really
good.
it's
Hey.
like the first, like, actually pretty good ensemble superhero movie. But yeah, the Infinity War is better. First Class is a better movie than Deadpool. First Class is the best ensemble. Is the best like X-Men team movie, and I think it's just I think it's just like a really well-rounded movie. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go First Class.
Yeah.
What we'll
Yes.
say before I click is
Oh,
and move on to the
100%.
next one. I think this side of the bracket has
Yeah.
proposed better
Like, the other side
matchups.
is
Like there's been some good
LiQWYD
Yeah.
matchups
and-
for
They're
both.
much more like
Yeah.
evenly matched. at
Mhm.
least.
For me, but
Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna go with Batman '89 because I love Batman '89. It's not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
better movie because Batman Begins is probably a better
Wow.
movie, but I like Batman '89. So,
Wow.
I like
Attaboy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I respect
Kick-Ass.
it.
I like you
too,
sticking to your
so.
guns on that.
Yeah.
Though. I like that.
Ooh. Like me for this
Kick-Ass
one.
is better,
I'm gonna pick
yeah.
X-Men First Class. X-Men First Class is
Hey.
one of my favorite superhero movies out there.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Wow!
First Class.
All right.
Nah, I think I do agree with that though,
Oh,
because that's
no.
like because you have to have like all the setup
But-
for Infinity War versus
Exactly.
X-Men
Like,
First
it's like-
Class. Is like they
X-Men
are
First
able to
Class
weave
is
that setup
a reboot
into
in a lot of
an
ways because
incredible
it's a
movie,
self-contained
like,
narrative.
already.
You
Like,
don't
that's
need
I do
any-
think that's
you don't need to do any homework going into it. You know, and it's also like I don't know, like I think Infinity War is a better movie than like Far From Home or not Far From Home than No Way
Exactly.
Home is, but it's like the
Yeah.
same sort of deal where it's like it's a tremendous spectacle, but you got to do a lot of stuff to get there. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah.
No way.
I mean, I would just argue for Infinity War that I think the culmination of all those movies in the one was done like perfectly.
Exactly.
It's a better like spectacle versus a better movie. That's what I think it's really about. Because like the experience of Infinity War, was definitely better than the experience of just walking into X-Men First Class. But we're just going movie.
I also do think that
First Class
Avengers
holds up a
Infinity
lot
War,
better.
in spite of the fact that you need to watch like 20 movies to get to it, is a really good movie. Like, it's got really good character work for like for the 8 million characters that are on screen. It has like pretty good.
Oh no, it's very well done.
Like,
it's very well done.
That is the triumph of it. It's a better movie than Endgame.
Yes.
Even if I enjoy it more technically. Like it just
absolutely. I think we all think that here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have agreed that Infinity War is The Empire Strikes Back, and then you have Endgame is like The Return of the Jedi, where it's like they're like they're good, but they're definitely not as good as the previous one.
No, well, I'm sure you haven't heard this yet, but I told some of the guys, Infinity War was my first MCU movie, so like as someone who watched it late and kind of like went right in when like everything was happening, I still really enjoyed it. So like I feel like I can definitely appreciate Infinity War a lot because of that. Because like even though I didn't really know the characters, like I was still like very hyped to see them.
Yeah,
and like it was still a really good film despite
Captain
not
America
watching the
comes
accumulation
on screen,
of
when like Vision and Scarlet Witch are for some reason being beaten by two people with spears. And they like saves the day. That's really cool. It's like a really, really cool moment. Wait, hold on.
Exactly.
Can y'all hear me or see me?
Jacob,
at
what
all
do you say
now?
about Vision?
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
We cannot say Vision on this podcast.
I think he's a punk. It's not safe for the podcast, but we can hear you.
Oh yeah.
But no, I just don't like Vision. I think that he was so cool in Age of
I
Ultron.
totally agree.
He was super powerful. Then he just gets horribly nerfed in Infinity War, and I just don't like him.
Dude, and then what if
he
showed us?
Been lost.
And what if literally showed us Ultron with the Mind Stone slice Thanos in half?
Yeah, but that's boring.
That is true.
Oh, well, why didn't Wanda just rip apart the multiverse in Infinity War? Shut up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If we're going to talk about superhero names, don't be talking about the boys, because there's awful names.
Well, that's the point, though.
Soldier Boy deeply bothers me.
That's the beauty of the show.
Come on, that's so funny. That's so...
That's the beauty of it, though.
A-Train's at least, like, some of those names I can at least tolerate. Soldier Boy really, like, affects me on a personal level.
Just wait till you get to season 3, bud.
I haven't even started season 1.
God.
Jacob, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mother's Milk also really gets to me.
Yeah. No, and Will, shout out to Will, because Will is the person that got me into watching The Boys, and then from that, I told all you guys. Yeah.
Dude, the Crimson Countess goes crazy.
And I have a...
Nah, it's just to make fun of Justin. He has this weird obsession with Wanda.
Black Noir. His name means black.
I have a...
Oh my god!
Yep.
Yes.
Close midnight.
Like approximate, yeah. Within relation to midnight.
Ma.
Ma.
It's better than Soldier Boy. And I know that is the point, but Soldier Boy is like, every time I hear it, I like cringe. It's so that bad. Like Homelander, I don't cringe at. Starlight is bad. I don't cringe at it. Soldier Boy, just no.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of the name, though. Like, there's just so many great scenes that are just so cringeworthy. That like that's just like the point of it. Like the A-Train.
Okay, don't spoil too much of this. It's
like, my goodness.
Well, let's finish up this bracket.
Yes, yeah. Let's finish up the bracket.
Because we're getting a little.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
but I have a quick announcement actually.
All good.
Yeah.
Batman 89.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Come on.
Stick to it.
I do need to watch Kick-Ass.
No, he was sticking to his guns, Jacob. No. You were rooting for it.
No.
Very good. Very good.
Kick-Ass is insane.
First Class versus 89 Batman.
Who would have thought of two X-Men?
And then for the championship. For the championship.
So we have two X-Men. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Logan versus X-Men First Class for the championship.
Yes. That's easy.
I feel like this is basically
Yes. Let's go.
There we go. I will make sure that we link this bracket in the description below so everyone can go make one for yourselves. You can send it into the podcast on our Instagram. We'd love to see it. And maybe we'll get Will to send out some grades and we'll post them up on our stories. That would be a little bit fun way. So Will, yes, Jacob, quick announcement.
I have a quick announcement.
I agree. I agree.
I think my favorite.
That's huge, though. That's huge.
I don't have to listen to Arrow anymore.
Without question. Without question. I think kind of without question. And I think as of right now, The Boys is on pace.
What's it competing for number one with?
No, Jacob. I agree. It's definitely
okay.
It's top three, I would say, for me, for sure.
You haven't seen Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is amazing.
Game of bad ending. Got him.
The ending was horrible, but like it's such a great. It has to be an amazing show. If the ending is terrible, but I still think it's like that good. So I again highly recommend it. But The Boys, just like even the humor in it is just something I like. I love. There's so many. I love the small details. Like I was talking with Will about the Instagram for Vought International, and they have systematically pressed tacos that you can buy for, of course, an unreasonably expensive price. They have the Deep does an interview with this one woman, and they actually have that you can listen to the full hour-long thing on Audible. And it just continues on with the humor from The Boys. Like the Deep's actor is still like, in character completely for that hour, but they're only showing like clips of it from like in the show. There's just so many things about The Boys that like I wouldn't have thought that it would be that great of a show. And like it's just like Like I kind of lump it together with like Invincible, just because it's not like the typical superhero show you'd think of. But Invincible and all fairness only had one
it's funny, at least
season.
For me,
but I
like,
think it's just
my top three
definitely better than Invincible.
superhero shows. I would say Invincible, both The Boys and Invincible, both non-DC or Marvel, are like two of my favorite superhero shows of all time.
Yeah,
or at least on pace to like solidify.
No, I think I agree. What?
Yeah. Oh, also.
This was
and
one
just for the
episode,
reference, Andres had the
one
horrible
episode
take
into
for
The
a little
Boys.
bit.
One episode.
I don't know if
into
it's
The
a
Boys.
horrible
more violent and gory show
Yeah.
than The Boys. That was a horrible.
Why did you make that take one episode in?
See, that was a couple episodes of The Boys.
Well,
that was a couple episodes in, bro.
Bro, I watched one episode of The Boys and they're blowing each other's heads off.
I mean, I think, yeah. There's an argument to be made that like some parts of Invincible are somewhat more violent, but The Boys is the more violent show, and I mean, it's just like it's also just like The Boys has like has to do like actual human violence as opposed to the cartoon kind, so that's one that is like that is the big difference.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you know, like when Red Rush dies.
I think that's
the first episode of Invincible. It's like that is one of the most like violent things on television. Like just spoiler, sorry guys, who haven't seen the show.
Spoiler.
Yep, he is.
Yeah, big spoiler. Omni-Man isn't good. That's the entire point.
Is like, okay, that's just like incredibly violent, but at the same time, it's not. You know, like that. I don't know. People are just getting like run through. You know, guys are exploding out of penises and stuff, and you know, like.
Well, you can also think of season 2 with Stormfront and Homelander. Don't say what happens because Justin hasn't seen it. I don't know if Peter you've seen it yet. Maybe you have. Well, then season 2 with Homelander.
Yeah, we're just gonna breeze past that because there's some horrific things that happen.
Yeah, like that is basically the same death as
the
same death as Red Rush.
In The Boys. It's more like painful and hurtful.
That is just so much worse, though. Like on every level.
Like you hear the guy like screaming in pain, like he's just like begging to die, you know, sort of thing in The Boys. Whereas Invincible is just you feel the agony of this guy, like who experiences time at like I don't know 100 times. Slower than we do, just like slowly having his head exploded, you know, like I don't know, it's tough. But also, Homelander and Blind Spot, that's a tough scene. Anyways,
oh yeah,
it's a real tough.
The termite one for me though.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Will, I have a question. Before we head off pod. So, as I've explained, my relationship with like watching like superhero related media is very complicated. I know really well, but I haven't seen a lot. Do I start watching The Boys first, or do I start going through the Marvel and DC catalog?
The Boys is just
and catch up on all that.
Media to pretty much.
Which one do you think I should do first?
Like, I don't know. Like I mean, it's like watching the Marvel stuff first is somewhat beneficial in the sense that you're getting like one of the levels of satire that the show is trying to make. But that's kind of the most obvious one, so you don't really need it. Like there's like it's a lot more the show is trying to say than just like, oh look, superhero market oversaturated.
Yeah.
What if these dudes were bad? You know, like that's not like that's like the core hook of the show, but outside that's not what it's trying to say, and it's a larger point, you know. So yeah, I think watch The Boys first. It's better than any Marvel TV show easily, and Invincible is also better than any Marvel TV show. So yeah, it just yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah.
Well, I was talking about the movies. I need to work through the entire catalog of all the X-Men. Fantastic.
Just watch The Boys
first. Better than The Boys, maybe, but overall, The Boys is better. So yeah, I don't know.
The Boys is amazing.
That's not ridiculous.
No.
All right. I heard it here first.
There we go.
Well, we are getting long here, so Will, do you have any final words
I don't know.
before you end your visit on the pod?
I remember my most controversial take, I think, for y'all with like the tier lists and everything was I had like the Watchmen TV show super high because it is like I don't know peak television, but it's only you can only watch it if you've actually if you've read the comic book because it's like it is a sequel to it. It's not like an adaptation sort of thing, but yeah, it's great. And if anyone watching this podcast has read the graphic novel, go watch the show. Don't worry about all like the reviews that are like it's like something, I don't know, SJW or something. What they're stupid, they're wrong. It's a great show. So go watch that. Plug in that. But anyways, yeah. Oh, also, actually, one more thing. Sorry. Shout out Brain Eaters Ultimate Frisbee, Claremont Ultimate. Amazing. There we go. That's it.
No, you're good.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
Get a shout out on the pod. Team. I see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to be quick. We're running really long
here.
Can
we do the connecting the actors? Or All right, well, so you're going to have to connect these two actors through movies and TV shows they've been in together. So, obviously, Zendaya.
Oh.
And the other actor that you're going to have to connect them to
is hold on, give me a second.
Money Plane, Kelsey Grammer.
So, Zendaya is... Yeah.
No way.
Okay. It would be easier
Money
if
Plane
it
is a
was
horrible
like
movie, by the way.
If the MCU movies were like
horrible.
Oh, wait. Actually, I think I can do it. Okay, yeah, no, I can. Okay. So Zendaya is in oh yeah, okay. So Zendaya is in Spider-Man No Way Home, and so is what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange is also in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, which also has Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart is in X-Men: The Last Stand, which also has Kelsey Grammer as the Beast. So there you go.
There we go.
Damn.
And just like that, you're picked apart very quickly.
Oh, thank you.
I can think of no better way to end the pod than that. Will, it was a blast having you on today. If you've made it this far in the podcast, and anyone listening, you can apply to be on the podcast. You got to send an email to thewashedAthletePodcast@gmail.com. The link is in the link tree. I know a lot of people have been asking, but the reason we plug it at the end is because we want to actually make sure you watch the podcast before you want to come on. That's the thing. Exactly. So everyone coming in our comments being like, how do I get on the podcast? Watch the episodes. All right. So that's it. It was nice having Will on. I think we all enjoyed our time. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, go to our link tree, follow our socials. Use code WASH20 at betbuck.com, and we will see you next time.